Good morning. This is a small dry wash in Hell's Canyon. 9 months ago I was here to give my first impressions of Corral Phantom Memory. Now that all the DVDs are released in North America, I thought I'd revisit it. Corral Phantom Memory is a sci-fi anime released in North America by ADV Films. Their sixth and final DVD finally arrived a few weeks ago, so now that I've seen the entire series, I'm going to revisit it as a complete series. Corral is set in a 22nd century where Earth has colonized the moon and built gleaming cities back on Earth. Corral is a 12-year-old girl, and for her 12th birthday, her dad has decided to take her with him to work. He's researching a new form of energy called Rhinax energy, and naturally that day something is going to go horribly wrong.
Good. Shut it down.
Yes, sir.
Corral! Corral!
It turns out that Rhinax, which are seen in our dimension as small glowing balls of light, are actually sentient beings, and Corral is now a hybrid of Rhinax and human, a Rhinax sapien. The second Rhinax, Corral's pair, is now dormant inside Corral's body. Over time, Corral's personality and that of the Rhinax will merge into almost a single entity with the memories and emotions of both. There's actually some pretty nice bonding that takes place between father, daughter, and even the Rhinax. Then the story jumps 10 years into the future. Corral is now a young woman off on her own. The Rhinax within her gives her some really special superpowers, which she keeps secret from everyone except her father, who's off doing some secret research someplace that the story will get back to later. Corral uses her special abilities by working as a solo troubleshooting agent, a sort of private investigator mercenary. That lets her use her Rhinax-infused powers in secret, sort of a classic superhero with a secret identity.
Okay, I'm in.
Damn! If there was a breaking and entering contest, you'd win. You've got to teach me your secret sometime.
Then it wouldn't be a secret.
Aww.
And then the dormant Rhinax pair within Corral's body finally awakens, and it forms a body of its own, using the original 12-year-old Corral as its template. Corral joyfully names her pair Christmas. At least initially, Christmas shows no signs of displaying the special Rhinax powers that Corral has, but it's clear that these two have a special and very deep emotional bond between them, some alien relationship of the pairs. And all would be happily ever after if it wasn't for the GPO. A global government police organization is looking for Rhinax sapiens. Yes, the original Corral accident wasn't the last. The Rhinax energy experiments continued, and there have been other such beings created, and the GPO is trying to hunt them down as a possible threat to humanity. Corral and Christmas try to keep a low profile, and they move to another city. There's a nice scene on the first DVD where Corral and Christmas are trying to keep this low profile when there's an accident in space that's broadcast on TV. It's the sort of rescue job that Corral, using her special Rhinax abilities, would previously have taken to perform the rescue. But now that the GPO is looking for them, and with such a high-profile accident actually being shown on TV, anything Corral does may be bringing them to the attention of the GPO, putting not just herself, but Christmas at risk as well. The two of them talk it over.
Corral, is something wrong?
If the usual methods are implemented, there is a very
What do
real
you
danger
think
that the
will
hull
happen
would
to
break
that
apart.
pilot?
That's certainly...
Reluctantly, Corral decides to accept the job and attempt the rescue, and sure enough, the GPO takes notice. Corral is just too good at her job to really be human. The GPO's Rhinac Sapien Task Force is led by a driven woman named Ayaka Steiger. She's cold, hard, and ruthless, though later on we do see some signs of possible humanity in Ayaka. She in turn is being supervised by a mysterious gentleman, Detective Wong. Then Corral also notices that another man is watching her. And soon enough, GPO comes knocking on the door of Corral and Christmas's apartment.
Situation? The terrace? Understood.
We have visual.
Take her down!
Feeling scared?
Not at all. Should I be?
We have them cornered on the terrace. We're closing in to capture.
Let's go, Christmas!
She just flew.
So she flew.
ADV's promotional previews for this series make it seem like a sci-fi action fest, and there is some action as Corral uses her Rhinax powers to perform various rescues or escapes from the GPO. But overall, the series is much more quiet and tranquil than that. It's more about Corral's endearing relationships, especially with her pair Christmas, but also with her father, and with other people who she meets and helps along the way. We also get a look back at the intervening years between Corral's 12th birthday and now to see what Corral was up to during that period, and we'll get to revisit her father's research as well, and we'll even get some background on the GPO's Captain Ayaka. The main drawback of the series is that after a well-paced and promising start with nice characters and an intriguing plot, it just ran too long for the story it had to tell. On 4 separate occasions, Corral and Christmas moved to a new city in order to escape from the scrutiny of the GPO, and each time eventually the attention of the GPO focuses back on them and they're forced to flee again. They're all different angles, but basically it's the same iteration of the same theme 4 different times, and that's really just too many times. Ultimately, however, the story will deliver a nice conclusion that's consistent with the personalities of the characters and wraps up all the plot threads in a way consistent with the information we've been given. The animation from Bones is unspectacular, but certainly adequate and comes through pretty well in the action scenes. The designs of the futuristic 22nd century Earth and Moon are not terribly original or necessarily even scientifically sense-making. ADV's dub isn't bad. For the 2 main actresses, Corral and Christmas, they've found voice actresses who can handle the emotional range that those roles require. Overall, I give Corral Phantom Memory 3.5 stars. I thought it had a really intriguing premise and start. I really liked the characters and was rooting for them. I wish the story had been a little shorter so it didn't keep iterating quite so many times. But in the end, I thought it was something I was glad I watched. Thanks for listening.